Hello, hello, how are we all doing? It is Sunday. It's a slightly reduced Some Other Heroes Day. Some Other Hero Day, if you will. How are we all doing? Everyone okay in chat? Welcome to something a little bit different. A little bit weird and wonderful, in which I get you all to do some of my creation for me, which is going to be hilarious fun, I'm sure. Hello Rooney, hello Hedge, hello Luke, and hello the Ink Drinker. It's lovely to see you all. I think Wayne's in the chat somewhere as well, hiding away. Probably just spying, just make sure that we don't give him something completely chaotic that he has to deal with. As always, before we start, I have a few shout-outs. All lies, Wayne. I get a first-time notification every time I get a first-time chatter. So, first off, before we start, what we'll do is I'm just going to do my usual shout-outs and everything to the wonderful people that share this community and support everything we do. And then from there, we're going to dive straight into creating some NPCs and some chaos, probably. Big shout out, obviously, to my three missing castmates. Charlie, who is in Ireland now, I believe she's already landed on the way across. Theo Blue, who is probably getting prepared for diving down to MCM next week, and of course Wayne, who's keeping you all company in chat whilst I jabber on by myself for a change. We would also like to give a huge shout out to our friends at Dice and the Slice. Wonderful podcast. If you are not following them already, please do. I shall just pop their details in the chat now. Let's just check it worked. Apparently it didn't, but that is okay. Wonder why that didn't work. Never mind. Okay, well, we can do that a little bit later. So they are amazing people doing a D&D podcast in a world of nautical adventures, deep gods and deep mysteries. They have also include Alicia, who was on the show the last couple of episodes. So, yes, a big thank you to Alicia for joining us and being so much fun to play with. The second shout out is for our absolutely wonderful friends, Wicked Game. And if you didn't see them on Friday, they were also playing You Meet in a Tavern, You Die in a Dungeon with our friend Ursa Dice, who you may have seen a space at the table this week. And it was hilarious fun. It was really good. And so we really enjoyed that. We got to sit and quietly watch it for our Friday evening. Such a good game. Such weird and wonderful characters. Particularly big shout out to Nikki and Michelle, who are already in chat. The absolutely fantastic, hilarious deaths as well. So, before we dive into it, there is just two special shout out. Obviously, we'd also like to give a big shout out to Ursa Dice again, just to thank them for coming on the show. Thank Jean for coming on the show as well. And just to kind of highlight their Kickstarter, they are absolutely brilliant. The game looks amazing. I can't wait to get my copy. Certainly going to be playing it in this house. Our second shout out today is for the amazing Jay Toolsquall. Now, we shouted him out before recently, but his book actually goes live tomorrow. Legends of the Vermilion Blade will be live on Amazon to download for your Kindle, and I believe he's working on physical copies at the moment. Thank you, Wayne. he is. I'm gonna give him the shout out. I don't know if he's watching or not. He sometimes catches up later. But just to send him our love. I know he's very, very nervous. He's kind of sitting on that button waiting for things to go through. I think we all do that when we've got something going live for the first time. So just to send him our love and ask you to go and pop past his Twitter account. He's got his pinned link in his bio for the book. Have a look and see what you want to do. It is really good. It is a book that actually embraces ace and aromantic representation in a fantasy genre, and that's incredibly important in itself. So that's all my big shout outs done. I think I've got everything at any rate. Shall we do some fun things? Let me explain to you how this works. Welcome to the tavern, by the way, which is, of course, where all the interviewing will be taking place. And we better have a look at the notice board to see what we have. Thank you to Wayne for putting this together for me today. I love this. This is so much fun. We have a number of positions to fill. We have a number of lineages that are present within the scattered lands that we can draw from, and each of those individuals may have some strengths or weaknesses. So how we're going to do this is I'm going to start with choosing a position, and then from there I'm going to ask chat to choose a lineage for me. So I hope you can see all those quite clearly. If you can't, I can read them out. Just shout out. Some of them are rarer than others. This is not to say that we don't want those people on board. It's just that it's less likely that you're going to have a complete crew of Loxodon than you are going to have a complete crew of humans. No way, you get no right to veto, I'm afraid. This is a community thing. You can, however, put in your vote if you want to as well, as can Theo, who I saw in chat a little while ago. From choosing lineage, what we'll do is we'll talk about their strengths and weaknesses. So what they're good at on the ship, whether they're good with people, whether they're good with combat, whether they're good at ship upkeep, or whether they're good at navigation and ship movement. Hold on one second. I am just going to hit things with a banhammer. How do I get rid of you? Bop. Let's see now. Oop. Oh, thank you, Michelle. That's much quicker than me trying to do it. Thank you so much. You are a star. So, as I was saying, people, whether they help people on the ship feel good, help the crew work better. Combat, whether in a tight situation where you're fighting ship to ship, they add anything to the ship's abilities. Ship upkeep, if they do quick repairs, make sure the ship runs smoother. And ship movement, whether they can get you from A to B a little bit quicker or a little bit smarter. 1 second. So, we actually have a captain who I have pre-generated because I wanted a little tiny bit of control over the crew, if nothing else. And you guys will meet him in our next episode, I promise. So very, very, very exciting. We have crew positions to fill. First mate, first explanatory. It's the second, basically the person under the captain who runs the ship when the captain is busy. Boatwain, or a boatswain, or a bosun, as you would know them. Generally, they are in charge of the crew, making sure that everything is running smoothly, and they do general base repairs to the ship, but in terms of its framework and things like that. Engineer. On an ether ship, like we have in the Scattered Lands, it's very important to have someone to knows how it flies and how it works and can keep it in the air. That's what your engineer does. Navigator, fairly self-explanatory. Medic, you're going to have a cutter on board. You're probably out in the clouds for a long periods of time, and you can't always rely on getting back to port quickly. Cook, you gotta eat. we have 3 deckhand positions and captain's attendant, which, for those of you who are wondering, hey, that is a nice way of saying cabin boy. Nikki has brought up an interesting point. There's nothing that says in the future these are not romanceable characters. We've always said that NPCs are perfectly romanceable under the right circumstances, providing they're interested. You need a medic because you have Aisling on board. I will have no comment on that one. I will let everybody else make up their mind about that. Cool. So, shall we... Oh, let's go through the lineages. So, most lineages are available from the standard D&D books. Very rare. Things like changelings, fairies, turtles and the like as well. Uncommon... there's enough of them around, but you don't see them as often as things like humans and dwarves. And rare is usually magically inclined people. So what I've said is, we're very rare, we can only have one of those on board. It's fine, no problem. We don't have to, but we can. With rare, you can have 2, but only 1 of each, to reflect how unusual they are. Uncommon, a maximum of 4, up to 2 of each. And populous, which is a nice way of saying common, as many as you like. So, who shall we start with? Has anybody got any preferences or anything that they want to kind of throw out there as the first NPC that we'll deal with? I will give you a second to have a think. Wayne has put Cook forward. Has anybody else got any idea? Cook. I love the way you all think. I think that's amazing. So, let us go Cook. So, Cook will be the backbone of the ship. They will keep you fed. So, before anything else, what lineage would people like for the Cook? Have a think. See what you think. Throw any of them out there. I know there's a big long list there. So, a turtle Cook. I mean, I really like that already. Has anybody got any objections to a turtle being the Cook? It takes our rare, but it gets them in there. Bugbear. A bugbear Cook. Ooh, that's a good one. Kobold. He'd probably fall in the pot, bless them. Bugbear. We've got 2 votes for Bugbear. Bugbear Cook. Okay. 2 for Turtle, 2 for Bugbear. Shall I tell you what? Let's see if I can do this. They should be able to start a poll. If I remember correctly how to do it, which I probably don't. 3 kobolds in a chef's outfit. Cool. Poll. So, what we got? We've got kobolds, gnome, bugbear, and turtle. Okay. See if I can figure out how to do a poll. This is live. It's going to be infusing. This is going to be absolutely Goliath with a gnome in his chef's hat. Helpful for cooking. A poll. Okay, bear with me. We have bugbear, turtle. We have Goliath. We have, what we got? Kobold. Did I miss anything? No, I think a gnome as well. Although the gnome seems to now be forever tied to the Goliath. I will not allow additional votes. Let's just start that poll. Why? Why does not meet guidelines? Okay, let's just... Okay. Has that worked? No. Hey, Dal, how you doing? I love it when they do things like this. Content does not meet guidelines. It doesn't tell me what I've done wrong or how I can fix it, just that I can't do it. Probably too many options. I think I'm going to take... should I take Goliath off, do you think? Let's just try that. Although, why offer you all that fields if you don't want us to do that? That's very strange, Twitch. Why are you doing that? Let's start a poll. Nope, does not like that. Okay, guys. I am not having fun with the poll, so we're going to move on. So we have... I think the winners of this one are Turtle and Bugbear. So I'm going to say... let's just try with 2. This should all get a little smoother as I try different things. Turtle does help if I can type, of course. I've put lineage, so I'm going to change it actually to see if that is what's causing the problem. Thanks for that shout out, Hedge. What should the cook be? Unless it doesn't like something in the text, but it would actually be really helpful if they could. Nope, doesn't like that either. Nope, okay. So we're going to try something else. This is a great... there we go. Did that work? There we go. Cool. What should the cook be? It only allows me 2 options, so vote away. Is it a turtle? Is it a bugbear? Oh, turtle has got an early lead. Bugbear is catching back up. This is all very exciting stuff. The people on YouTube are not going to be able to see any of this, so I'm afraid. Where we at? Where we at? Oh, this is looking really good. This is one of those points where people are like, I've got channel points. I can probably do that. So that's looking really good. I think our bugbear has won it. Looks like we have a bugbear. Oh, no, last push. Hang on. No, it's Super Cook. I love that. Thanks, Nikki. Oh, this is good. The turtle and the bugbear. It's a fable. The bugbear wins. The bugbear is now the cook. Excellent. So, let's just find the cook on my spreadsheet. They are a bugbear. That is amazing. So, what do we think I'm not going to do a vote on everything because that's going to take far too long. What do we think the bugbear's strength is when dealing with the ship? Are they good with people, good at combat, ship's upkeep, or movement? And we can juxtapose the interpretation that their ship's upkeep could be very much keeping everybody on their feet. Rooney says people. Who else? Does anybody else want to shout out? People. I think it's people all the way for the very friendly bugbear in the kitchen. And what's their weakness? Are they poor at combat, poor at ship's upkeep, or poor at helping out with moving the ship along? Is that Luke? Is that you saying that poor with ship upkeep? I think that's fair. Does anybody else think that's a good one? There's way too many ingredients. Upkeep, yeah, I think upkeep. Awesome. Brilliant. Okay. So, and this is just a general shout out to you guys. I haven't put anything up on the screen to choose from, but is there any sort of personality that the bugbear should have? Who should they be? Like, what sort of personality? The kitchen's a mess, but the food is great. So, chaotic or just very focused on their food? What do we think? That sounds quite interesting, Wayne. The idea that the kitchen is a mess, but the food is great. I don't know who you might be projecting into that, Eva. Chaotic, focused and clear-minded. Oh, I like that. Amazing. Do they have any personality quirks? They don't have to, but they can do if anyone can think of anything interesting. Let's see now. It could be anything along the lines of they have a tendency to sing whilst they're cooking, through to they have to turn the lanterns up and down just to make sure that they have got all the corners, or anything along those lines. They like to interject strange idioms into normal conversations. Dal, that's amazing. It's going to be an absolute nightmare to roleplay, but I love that. I really love that, and I'm going to go with that one, I think. Cool, so they interject strange idioms into conversations. Cool. Are there any notable physical features for this bugbear? Anything that sort of stands them out a little bit? Anything that kind of just steps them out? And we have the fun bit of making a name in a second. So I actually have something for that. I have an eye patch. Excellent. How many of these people, these crew members, are going to be eye patched? Eighth and North on both eyes. Dear. Have they got an eye patch because they lost an eye? All of them. Braids in their beard. I like both of those. I'm going to put in their beard fur. Cool. That's a fair point. What gender is our bugbear cook? The eye patch is just to look tough. Paprika the red-furred bugbear. I like Paprika. I'm certain Pura, if she's catching up on this later, will like Paprika as well. Yes, for gender. They have a gender. Yes. Or we can have them fluid. I like that. So I'm going to put gender any. Gender fluid. And do we have a name for our wonderful bugbear cook here? Anybody have any exciting names that they want to kind of put there? I've got Paprika. I really like that. Alexis. I am going to call them Pumpkin. Paprika. I do like Paprika as well. We've got 2 votes for Paprika. Let's call them Paprika Alexis. But you can call her you can call them Pumpkin. How's that? Pluto. Awesome. So that takes one of our uncommon. So if we want a turtle later, there is still a slot for a turtle on the ship. Cool. Right, excellent. That is really good. Thank you, guys. Okay, so we've done our first mate. Who is next? So we've done our cook. Is there anybody that anyone would like to do next? Aisling is going to fall absolutely in love with them. Charlie's going to have such a pleasant surprise when she catches up with this later. So, where are we at? So, who would we like to have a look at next? First mate, boatswain, engineer, navigator. First mate. I have a shout for first mate first. We're going to go with first mate first, and then I think we'll do the engineer and then the navigator. Wow. Oh, everybody's gone for something different. Okay, that's the order we're going to do it in then. So, I'm just going to jot that down because that will help us. First mate. Engineer. Hold on to that thought hedge. Because that is really good. Navigator and then medic. And what I will say, if at any point in time, when we're talking about quirks and notable features, you want to highlight that any of these characters have a notable disability or anything that's of interest, remember that we actually try and be inclusive on our stream, so we are very happy to have ships adapted for wheelchairs, missing limbs, or anything along those lines that crew would need. So, our first mate. What lineage would we like for the person who's going to be taking charge of the ship when the captain is busy? Give us a shout. Tabaxi from Theo. I like it. Goblin from Rooney. I like both of those. Hey, Fernando. Welcome to the chaos. Come in, pull up a chair. Let's create some wonderful NPCs together. A Minotaur from the Ink Drinker. Oh, I'm loving all of these. These are all good. But if you don't get them on this way round, don't worry. You can always shout for that lineage again later. Okay, I am actually going to jot that down, Luke. So for those of you at home watching later, Lucas said, speaking as someone with autism, I feel that when we get to the medic option, the medic would also has autism, since they have a great attention to detail when helping people. I like that. I think that's really, really good. So just excuse me 1 second whilst I jot that down, because otherwise I will forget it, because I have a memory like a goldfish. Ah, cool. Excellent. Right, so we have Tabaxi, Goblin, and Minotaur. Let's start a can. Who is the first mate? Tabaxi, Goblin, or Minotaur? You will have to excuse any... just and then go. Pop. Who is the first mate? We have a poll. Tabaxi, Tabaxi, Tabaxi. Lots of Tabaxis here. Or someone is just using their points. Amazing. I have 16k, don't tempt me. Cool, this is all looking really good. Tabaxi is still in the lead, but Goblin is catching up. Someone's very, very, very up for that one. And I hear you there, Luke. I think we're just explicitly stating and supporting people with like learning differentials and different ways of seeing the world in a positive way. Our Tabaxi won with 52 votes. I think I might have to turn points off for these a little bit, otherwise it gets a bit crazy for some people who've been here a long time. 50. I don't think this stream has ever seen 52 people in at the same time. I think there's something funny going on here. But well done on achieving that one. Goblin came second at 25, and a Minotaur with just the one vote this time. So our first mate is a Tabaxi. I feel like people are already leaning towards an idea of who they are. But we will go for that anyway. So, the Tabaxi's strength. Are they good with people, good with combat, ship upkeep, or ship movement? What do we think? What do they bring to the deck when they are there? Rooney, how dare you tell me you can't use 28k channel points to buy these elections? All right, I'll back off. I'll let the points lay. People can spend them as they wish. When they're gone, they're gone. Everyone is saying combat. Excellent. She is a combat. They are a combat specialist. Amazing. So which of the 4 areas is she weakest at? So we have people, ship upkeep, and ship movement. What is she not so good at? I'm saying she at the moment. I don't know. We haven't decided yet, but we will come to that in a second. People. Oh, bad at people. Oh, people would rather go to the captain. There, combat comcat. I think that's very interesting. So I guess what's the story with this Tabaxi? Why are they bad with people? I feel that comes into their personality. What is it? Bad at people. Yeah. Or if they're great with people. Well, I can't tell you what the captain's like just yet because I want to introduce them later. But I think everyone's going to love them. So, Rooney, no. Shush. No. No Cats 2019. Shush. Okay, so where are we at? So what is this first mate Tabaxi's personality? What are they like? Cold and aloof, very by the book, just very short-tempered? Is there a particular reason they're not great with people? What do we think? Any ideas? No idea too small? Aloof until they decide they like it. I mean, it's a very Tabaxi thing. They're too busy being efficient and aloof. I like both those. Yeah, I like both of those. And I think what Rooney's saying ties into that beautifully. Yeah, so they are very efficient but aloof until such time as they get to know you, and then they probably warm up a little bit. Efficient and aloof. Do they have any quirks? Anything that's interesting about them? Feel free to delve into cat jokes if you wish. See now. Easily distracted by moving red dots. The fair poofs up under the littlest amounts of stress, easily distracted by lasers. We don't technically have lasers, but what we could have is they're easily distracted by sudden bright lights or something along those lines. Yep. Airballs become fireballs. So much as a quirk, so much as a spell. Swishy tail gives their mood away. Oh. In this world, Tabaxi generally have tails. Obviously, that changes depending on the DM and how they set things up. Okay, we've kind of got this really even split. So a couple of people with the bright lights thing, and a couple of people with the floof thing. Notable features. See if we can put any of those in there. Hair floofs up. Let's put that up. Let's put that down as a notable feature. How does that sound for everybody? And then we get 2 of those in for the price of 1. So the hair floofs up when they are annoyed or surprised. It's a notable feature. What is their gender? Maybe you just think like a cat, Luke. Maybe that's it. She, her? I'm good with she, her. Is everybody happy with she, her? I feel like we were heading that way with the comment about her sounding like Emma Thompson earlier. One paw has a notable different colour. Yeah, I think she sounds like she's she, her. I think we had already decided she was she, her when we started this. Do we have a name for her? And if you guys can't come up with a name, don't worry about it. I have Fantasy Name Generator open. I am happy to just dive into that at any point in time. But I trust you all. So, Jelly Lorem. I love Lorem. I'm probably not going to do the 2019 Cats thing, but I do like Lorem. Amelia. I love Amelia. And Davina is very good. Akiza. Ooh. How do those sound to people? Is there anything that's sort of really leaping out at everybody there? Because I think there's three or four very good names there. Jelly Lorem. Probably not. Akiza is lovely, isn't it? Well done, Luke. That's lovely. Lorem Kitsum. I'm going to go with Akiza. I think that's lovely and works really, really well. Amazing. So, we have done the first mate, we have done the cook, and I think we said engineer next. So, we are on to the engineer. What lineages are we proposing for the engineer? If they've come up before, you can use them again. Do not be afraid. If they are part of the more populist people, remember they were likely to have more than one of each of them on there. Dragonborn for the engineer. Like it? We all know how well Brock gets on with his fellow Dragonborn. Ganassi? Ooh. I'm liking it. I like it a lot. Is anybody... Oh, yeah, I'm... Kobold again. Air Ganassi. Ooh. Let's see now. So... what have we got? Let's see now. Dragonborn, Ganassi, Kobold. We're not hiring Rico. He's got bad recommendations. Plus, I think that he's busy a little bit. As we've discussed before, no fire on ship. So we have Ganassi. We have Dragonborn. I like that people are already thinking about what sub lineage that we should be choosing. Kobold again. I always love a Kobold engineer, and you guys absolutely. Ganassi, Dragonborn, and Kobold. Okie dokie. You guys know what you need to do. Got a minute? Tell us who the engineer. An air Ganassi on the skyship does sound like a very sensible thing. There are water Ganassi in this world, but they are a little bit rarer than the other breeds of Ganassi, actually, interestingly. This would take... What have we got? Yeah, this would take one of our rares up, but that's okay. How are we doing? Ganassi is on the run around. Pardon my terrible spelling there. You can tell I was super prepared for this. Follow CGC to this universe because he thinks he gave Rico a bad job review. Oh no. Dear. Excellent. The Ganassi won, despite my terrible spelling of it. Excellent. So we have a Ganassi. I like Air Ganassi, unless anyone has a very, very strong opinion against that. I think Air Ganassi feels right to me. How does everybody else feel about that? Air Ganassi. Sounds good. We like Air Ganassi. Excellent. What is the Air Ganassi's strength? People, combat, ship upkeep, or movement? Ship upkeep or movement both sound like they'd be the most logical one. Upkeep, we've got 3 for upkeep. Upkeep. I think upkeep is winning on this one. That sounds like it's logical for me. Yeah, stop it falling out of the sky in the first place. That's probably best. What is their weakness? People, combat, or movement? What are they not great at? Movement and combat. So we got, yeah. So they know how to keep things running, but they don't know how to make the ship go. That sounds about right to me. Spindly caster. Combat's got 1, 2, 3 for combat. 1, 2, 3 for movement. I think movement. I think we're going to go with movement. I like the idea of spindly caster, but I also like the idea that if you kind of bother them, you're going to get a wrench to the head. Yeah, may not hate fighting. Yeah. Let's go with combat. They fix things, they don't break them. Yeah, goes to the bow of the ship and just shouts uselessly at the other ship. Doesn't actually do anything. What's their personality like? What sort of personality have we got for this Air Ganassi who takes care of the ship? Are we talking more along the lines of Kaylee from Firefly, or are we talking about a grumpy below decks person who doesn't really, or someone who's just loyal and focused, like Scotty from Star Trek? They treat the ship as their child. I like it. Passion for everything. Passionate about their job. And treat the ship like their child. I love that. Standoffish, but will happily info dump about their work if you ask. Shall we put that in a quirk for them? That they automatically see interest as an opportunity to explain things, and as they understand them with their passion. How does that feel to people? Yeah, I feel like this is a character that's going to get on with Eugene already. Yeah? Yeah, I feel like them and Eugene are going to get on ever so well. Over-explains technical elements to anyone who they think is interested. shares their passion in a big ways. Scared of heights as well. Oh, this poor engineer. Is that why they stay below decks? Oh, dear. If it's all right, I think I might like to save the scared of heights thing for one of the crewmen. I feel like that's something that can be quite funny. Particularly since the engineer is mostly in the bowels, probably doesn't see the sky very often, whereas a crewman actually has to go on deck and do things. Or maybe it's one of those weird things where it's like when it's in relation to a sky island, they're like, oh no, now I know how high up I am. Whereas opposed where it's an amorphous big cloud of a shimmery surface below, that's gets bearable motion sickness. Amazing. Do we have a feature for the engineer? Something like that kind of sort of draws them apart. Something you kind of look at them and say, oh, that's who they are. Either a way of dressing or a way that they stand or, again, any sort of disability they might have, any physical differential. What do we think? Magnifying monocle. I like that. Always wears a magnifying monocle. They heavily lean on the right leg from an injury. Favor their right leg. I like that. Sorry, 1 second whilst I just spell injury. So favour their left leg, so they kind of rely more heavily on their right from an old injury. I like that. Have a cloud tattoo on their arm. That sounds like the sort of thing that a young Ganassi would do, thinking it was cool. I like that. I'm taking all of these. These are great. Awesome. Cool. Right. Do we have a name for our engineer? What do we feel that our Air Ganassi is called? Oh, and do we have a gender, actually? Probably a good idea to put that in before we choose name. Although fantasy names, Sid! They, them, and Sid. I like that. That sounds good. Yeah, they, them. Yep. Amazing. I like this a lot. Excellent. So Sid is an Air Ganassi that you would know because they always wear a magnifying monocle, favour their left leg from an old injury, and they have a cloud tattoo that is easy to spot on their arm. They use they, them pronouns. They are very good with the ship. They treat it like it's their child, have a tendency to over-explain the technical elements, and are terrible at combat, mostly because they do not like it. And they do not like the possibility their ship could be damaged. That is brilliant. I like that. And yep, Sid is a great name. So far, to recap, we have Paprika Alexis, or you can call them Pumpkin, as the ship's cook. We have Akiza, the Tabaxi, as the first mate. And Sid, the Air Ganassi engineer. We are going to move on to our navigator next. Which is awesome. So, what lineages would you like for our navigator? So we've got one rare left. We've still got one very rare left and 3 uncommon. Herringon. I do hope we get a Herringon because reasons. Human, Herringon, Owlin, Okay, amazing. Let's just give a second to see what people are feeling. Bunny Man. So we have Herengon, who is the navigator. Herengon. Well, we got human. I quite like this. The human has finally come up because we have a tendency to overlook them. Owlin. Amazing. And we haven't had many Owlin yet. So, we've got our 3 choices. I'm going to start the poll. I am putting points in there because everybody wanted those. Have at them. You have a minute to decide for who your navigator's going to be. Humans doing well. Okay, people are catching this. There is some enthusiasm here. Becomes a button spamming trick here, doesn't it? Wow, there's actually really close race from where I'm watching. Oh. I feel like someone is very, very invested in one particular lineage. Wow. I should be able to set a maximum on you guys. Like, spend your points by all means, but maximum. Okay. We're very nearly there. How do you think we've done? It was actually... I feel like there was some incredible enthusiasm for the human in this particular instance. 106 votes, Owlin with 90, and Herengon with 34. So, human wins out in this instance. I think I might know who the culprit is. Excellent. Human. Okay, so we have a human navigator. Shall we do gender first this time? What is the gender of our human navigator? He, they. I like he, they. He, they works. Everybody seems happy with he, they. Amazing. What is the navigator's strength? Probably should be ship movement, but you guys are deciding here. So they might be absolutely fantastic with people and just talk their way onto the ship. Or wonderful at combat and no one wants to argue for the position. Movement, ship movement, yeah. Ship movement. It's people, says Rooney. Amazing. I think movement works with that one. What is their weakness? People, upkeep, or combat? What do we think their weakness is? High charisma, low intelligence. That's on the captain. Upkeep. Yeah. I feel upkeep makes sense to me as well. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are feeling the same. Also, movement. Rooney's just here for the chaos. I know it. So, what is their personality like? What is this navigator? They're in the right direction, but at a turtle's pace. Always at odds with Sid because he wants to go fast, but Sid wants to protect the ship. I like this. It's just a generally argumentative, hyperactive, bright and bubbly. And bubbly. Can we have this that Sid and this human have worked together for a long time, and it's that one of those friendly rivalry sort of things, whereby if you crossed either of them, the other one would be the first one to cut you? What do we think about that? Yeah, best friends, they just argue all the time. Gets lost walking around. Gets lost in cities. Almost the opposite of Aisling, actually, who gets really befuddled by the whole moving islands things, but put her on an island and she has it mapped out almost immediately. I love that. Best friends with Sid. Quirks. Gets lost in cities and on land. I love that. Do we have a name for our human? What do we think? Any particular names springing out for people? Danger Dan. I like Dave. I like something very ordinary and like mundane for him for them, but I think Brent, please, Mr. Dan was my father. Please call me Danger. How about Davos Danger Dan? Or Dave for short, but you can call him Dangerous Dave if you wish. Nobody does, but he is actually a brilliant navigator, and you can rely on them to be able to get you anywhere you need to, providing Sid isn't on deck at the same time. 3D, excellent. Cool. This is going really well, guys. Right, we're going to keep going until it is done. But we are making amazing time. So far, we have first mate, we have the engineer, we have a navigator, and we have a cook. Next on my list of requests, we have medic. Until it's done. Exactly. So, for our medic, would you like to make proposals as to what their lineage is? What do we think? A turtle? We yield medic to Luke. We got a turtle. Oh dear. Yeah. Elf. Hobgoblin. Fairy. Ooh. Elf. We've got 2 elves. I think elf is going to have to be in there. Minotaur. Minotaur in a healing capacity. I quite like that one. Oh, what was Luke's idea for the... Yeah. He had the medic having autism. Was Luke's suggestion. So he had the hyper focus. What did you have a lineage idea, Luke? Did you want to pop it in chat for me? Yeah, medic has autism. So I'm going to pop that in under features. I like that. Excellent. I will have to make sure I do the right research before I play them, just to make sure that I'm doing justice and being fair. But yeah, that's such a lovely trait. I like that. Cool. So we've got turtle, elf, fairy, and hobgoblin. Okay. Let's start a poll. Who is the medic? Thanks, Hedge. I might ask you some questions. It's more about just making sure I present it in a fair and pleasant way and don't get things wrong. Turtle and Hobgoblin getting a lot of votes in there. Somebody's very keen for both of those. I'm very excited to see where this goes. This could be different. I do like me some turtles, I have to admit. But I haven't had many hobgoblins in this campaign, really. Not really. They're just sort of around in the background. What we got? Looks like we're going to have a turtle. Yep. And here we go. It all nearly at the end there, nearly. Turtle in with 20 votes, Elf with 16, Hobgoblin with 10, Fairy surprisingly no votes. So Turtle takes up our very rare. Alas, although to be fair, if everybody shouts at me about one thing, I'm probably going to quite cave because you know what I'm like. Too nice. So we have a Turtle medic. I like that. Okay, so what's their strength? People, combat, upkeep. Bearing in mind, keeping your crew upright can be considered ship upkeep if you wish. Ship movement. You defected to Elf at the last minute. Upkeep? How? Anybody else on upkeep? Upkeep looks like the one. Amazing. Yeah. People, as they think a lot about other people. Upkeep. We've got most people saying upkeep. What about their weakness? People, combat, or movement? Luke has a point with people. Well, does anybody mind if I swap that over to people in this particular instance? Yeah? Movement as a weakness. I feel like movement has no idea how the ship gets from A to B. They're there to cut stitches and make sure people are well able to do their job. Amazing. Yep, that sounds good to me. Brilliant. What is their personality like? Any idea about how they think, who they are? Careful in all things, perfectionist. Those both sound like they could be two sides of the same coin to me. So one of those related: calm, reflective, and aware of surrounding. I am liking all of this. Protective over the crew. Calm, protective. Careful. And a perfectionist. Hey, excellent. That is brilliant. Has an approachable warmth to them, but otherwise quite withdrawn or introverted. I'm going to put introverted rather than, because you can be an introvert and be very warm. Quirk. Is there any notable quirks about them? About the way they behave? About what they do? We have, obviously, the turtle is, in this instance, does have autism. But is there anything different? Wears earmuffs when performing surgery to avert sensory overload. Hedge, that's beautiful. I think I really like that. Yeah, I love that, guys. That's so good. I'm gonna put earmuffs or ear headphones to block it when focusing on surgery. I love that. That's so good. That is so good. Collect something special from each port they visit. I like that too. Yeah. I'm going to have both of those because I just think that those are really lovely. Painting is such a lovely picture for this turtle. Yeah, I think you're right there, Nikki. That does sound like it's much more comfortable for me than role-playing a tick, which could also be misinterpreted, whereas a characteristic like that just is more representative. For me, feels more representative, and you guys would be able to tell me more without kind of feeling like it's playing to type or anything along those lines, or being insensitive. So bear with me 1 second. Amazing. What gender would we like our turtle to be? This sounds like a lovely crew, by the way. I think our cast are going to love these people when they meet them. What gender shall we have? He, him. I like he, him. We haven't actually had a cis representing person as yet. That's not right terminology. We haven't had somebody with by standard assigned gender yet. And do they have a name? Lights in the infirmary are a slightly different colour. Ooh, I feel like there's so many things. Keanu, I like that. Keanu is quite nice. I like that. as in Reeves, yes. Shall we go for the pun? Shall we call him Keanu Reeves? To kind of tie into the... Gwyn. I definitely like Keanu. I think that's such a nice name in general, and it sounds like this is a lovely character. So we're just going to call him Keanu rather than play on the pun on that particular one. I'm really looking forward to the crew, everybody meeting him. He's going to be really lovely. Amazing. Okay, so who have we got left? We got 3 deckhands. We have the captain's attendant, or cabin boy, if you will. And we have the boatswain left to do. Are any of those shouting to anybody at this point? Keanu leaves. Boatswain. Boatswain is they're kind of like under the first mate, and their job is to you might have heard them called quartermaster or bosun. They're all effectively the same role. So it's their job to keep the crew working and busy, and to oversee things like ship repairs, personnel details, and things like that, and distribute foodstuffs and equipment. But should we do the boatswain? Fairy boatswain. If everybody wants a fairy boatswain, I will happily do that. We have technically used up our rare, but you know what? It's my rules. I'm going to break them. Fairy boatswain does sound neat. I like it. So we've got 2 for fairy boatswain. Are there any other lineages that anybody would like to put forward for the boatswain? No, I feel like we've made an easy choice on that one. Awesome. We don't, but do you know what? It's my rules. I'm going to break them. I didn't say it's impossible, but I think perhaps that will be our last very rare. So our boatswain is a fairy. Which is ironic because I think I might have an idea for something for them. What is the boatswain's strengths? What is this fairy good at? People, combat, ship upkeep, or movement? What do we think? So how this all is going to work mechanic? Upkeep? Rooney thinks upkeep. People. We've got 1 for upkeep, 1 for people. Combat, 1 for people. Oh, I think we might have to create a poll for this one. It's going all over the place. I like it. It's good. We're going to do a poll for this particular one because we got an easy out on that last one. So off we go. I think this will be nice and quick way. Upkeep is providing people's needs. Yeah, people is quite good because then you can get something out of them. Do we have anyone other than the cook who's good with people? Cook and the medic are both good with people. I like the idea of a tiny, highly strung fairy who couldn't handle the passe fair attitude of the Feywild. Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, all the fairies in the Scattered Lands are completely cut off from the Feywild anyway, so have developed very different attitudes and approaches to the world. How we doing? It's 50-50 between people and upkeep. It's very close, isn't it? Rock, Aisling, and Eugene are all great with people, right? Rock is. Aisling is quite people. We have people. The fairy is good with people. To be fair, either people or upkeep would have made sense. Sniped at the end. Yep, that's what you get. So, what is their weakness? I'm kind of guessing it's probably combat or movement. It's not their first priority. They want to make sure everybody else is doing their job, but you guys get to decide. Is their weakness combat, upkeep, or movement? Or Rooney with the super puns, movement? Yep, somebody else's job, not something that they're concerned with. Awesome. Movement. Surprisingly good at giving people a thrashing. Ooh, harsh. Oh dear. I feel that movement is winning out there very easily. Do we want to assign them a gender before we move on to things like personality and that? What is this fairy's gender? Bearing in mind the fairies have a very relaxed view. With quick wit. I like that. That's really good, Fernando. Yep. Standing off to one side, just tongue lashings as opposed to actual lashings, because they don't believe in physical violence against people. She, they, I like. Yeah, she, they, but also kind of cool with anything. Amazing. Yeah. Just because the Fae tend to be very relaxed about those sorts of things. She, they, it be. That is it. Cool. So personality. I had highly strung from Nikki, which I really like. Do we want to build on that at all? This tiny flittering ball of energy, maybe? What do we think? Give you guys a moment to type. This is all going really well. Sets way too high expectations for herself and others. Smiles a lot even though you can tell they're stressed on it. Smiles through the stress. I like that. So. And sets way too high expectations on herself and their crew. Yep. Amazing. Highly strung, smiles through the stress, sets way too high expectations on herself and their crew. Does our boatswain fairy have a name? Do we have any name ideas for this wonderful character we've just created? I feel like there's a couple of very highly strung people in very different ways, but I feel like there's just going to be wonderful energy. So when it's going to be interesting to see how that bounces off of people like Astra, Zoe and Astra, or Persimmon, ooh, or Percy to her friends. Oh, these are all really good, really, really good. Or does anybody have anything to kind of add into those, or is any of those that look like they're better to, or they prefer to others? Astra, we've got two for Astra. I got to admit, all of those I love. I don't see a problem with combining, having all three of them as her ultimate name in some way. Astra is her first name. Let's put Zoe as her middle name and Persimmon as her last name. Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. Astra, Zoe, Persimmon. And always said in that order. Calling it an ultimate name from now on. Yep. You can call her Percy if you wish. She does not matter. No more full names. I know, but sometimes it's fun to just kind of do these. So we have a captain, we have a first mate, we have a boatswain, an engineer, a navigator, a medic, a cook, which just leaves the deck crew and the captain's attendant. Shall we do the captain's attendant next? Which, as I said at the beginning, this isn't my ultimate name. I love that. So, captain's attendant. I think let's do the captain's attendant. What would we like the captain's attendant's lineage to be? A tiefling. Nice. A Leonin, a tiefling. Got 2 for tiefling. Human once more. Human once more. Okay, so we got, I feel like we're going an Owlin again. Someone's desperate to get an Owlin on this ship. I think that's great. 2 for tiefling. Owlin. Human. We got Leonin. If you are curious about what a Tigrin is, it's a tiger version of a Leonin, which are big, muscular, tabaxi type creatures. I don't know if it's going to let me do kobold as well. We will try. Yes, let's go. What we got? Let's see. Tiefling is getting oh. How are we doing? Very keen on the tiefling for this one. Wow. When you're kind of watching somebody go, yes, absolutely, tiefling, just hammering the button. I mean, this is what your dungeon bees are for. So it feels wrong to vote against the majority. Ah, dear. There was some love for the kobold and the Leonin and the Owlin in there. Ah, dear. I feel like this might be tiefling. I couldn't say for certain. It is tiefling in the lead, Owlin second, Leonin third, kobold fourth, and human. No humans. 1 human per ship. Even though they're the most populous people, Theo just spent over 1,000 points. Well, Theo kind of gets them back quite quickly because they're here most of the time. So we have a Tief. Are they right? Excellent. What is the gender of this tiefling? What do we think? Trans and masculine. Oh, I gotta admit, I'm very, very, very excited for trans masculine. Yeah, are we feeling trans mask he, him? Thank you for that suggestion, Theo. That is brilliant. Yeah. Trans mask he, him, tiefling. Amazing. Gonna do, what is the tiefling's strength on the ship? People, combat, upkeep, or movement? What have they picked up from their time serving the captain? I really like that. Combat? Ooh, I like the idea of them only weaknesses. No. They have to have learnt something on their time. No, I mean the boatswain Wayne. You outpunned yourself, Rooney. Combat. We're seeing combat as strength. I like that. Secretly learnt how to fight for themselves and for the people they care about on the ship. What would their weakness be? It's just like, fine, combat. What weaknesses would they like? Would you like for this particular individual? The captain has just surrounded themselves with combat-heavy people. Upkeep. New crush. Amazing. Dear. Upkeep. Excellent. Bad at ship upkeep. Excellent. They don't know how to fix things. They've never had any sort of practical learning in that sort of thing. Or, as people say, when they do get into combat, they're a bit careless about what they damaged in order to finish what they are trying to achieve. Just there for the vibe. Well, I mean, on one of the deckhands, if you want to call neutral on weaknesses and strength, you can do so. I think that's more than fine. Ooh, the shade, Michelle. That's Rock, right? Rock is now the ship's mascot. Is that the case? I'm sorry, Wayne. There's some character assassination going on here. Okay, so our tiefling. Don't tempt him. He will come in here. I know he will. What is the personality of this attendant, this tiefling? What do we think that this tiefling is like? I mean, they carved a dragon into the front of the ship. I'm sure Rock probably feels some sort of connection to that. Exactly, Rooney. Exactly. There's a dragon on the front. Happy and cheerful. I like that. I also would like to put comfortable in themselves, or knows themselves as well. And a little bit sassy. I think you just made Rock's new crush. Brilliant at his job, but a bit of a disaster. I quite like that. Awesome. Should we put that as quirk? Brilliant at his job, but disaster in his relationship. I don't know what you mean, Rooney. Fantastic strong arms. Yeah, I feel like people are typecasting my NPCs. That's probably on me. Notable features. Beefy arms? Are we going with beefy arms as a notable feature? Swoons in Rock. Ah, dear. I don't know if you've noticed, but Rock is who the beefy arms are attached to is not nearly as important as the beefy arms sometimes. Yeah, will of the people. I'm sorry, Wayne. We have made Rock's new crush. However, history's saying if they're the sort of person, it might be race between you and Eugene for this one. Excellent. Do we have a name for our tiefling? And a few combat scars. I like that. Felix, Aiden, Nico, Alex, or Leo? Dancer. I like... Felix sounds good. Felix Dancer doesn't sound like it would roll. Do I like Dancer as a surname? I mean, we haven't discussed polyamory in the group yet, but I'm up for that. Prancer. Donna, Dasher. And they're off. Whilst they're doing that, I'm going to put Felix in as their first name. Actually, you know what? Felix Dancer is warming to me. Because tieflings do have a tendency to take attributes as their personality. They want to be presented as opposed to sometimes dumping their family names. Awesome. So Felix Dancer. So we have 3 deckhands. He's your lucky dancer. That's all right, Nikki. Neither can I. Spelling's overrated. It evolves with time anyway. So, let's see now. Our first deckhand. So we've got 3 deckhands that we want to do. So deckhands, for anybody who basically do all the odd jobs, they're the people that you kind of see tying off ropes, like moving things about. They will also double as the gunners in certain circumstances as well. They have generally general training, but some of them can be more specialised in anything else. More tieflings should have antlers. Yeah, but then they're just kind of stealing from fawns, so it's a bit rude. They have beautiful horns. Kobold, Herringon, excellent. The first one. Should we do a poll for each of these, or should we just take the first 3 that come on? What do we think, people? Let's do a poll. So, 3 Musketeers. Deckhand number 1 is Herringon, Kobold, Goblin, a Kobold recognising Ashling as their king, Hobgoblin. Cool, so we've got Herringon, Kobold, Goblin, Hobgoblin for this first deckhand. Let's start the poll. Let's go. Who have we got? Deckhand number 1. Herringon. Oh, Kobold. We've got a big one on the Kobold. Excellent. What I will say is to kind of keep it interesting, unless it's something like a human or a goblin, if we've got one, we won't have a second one. Just to kind of keep it interesting. So, because I know a lot of people have been shouting for different things. Sorry, I forgot to put Owlin in there. I will make sure Owlin is in the next one. Sorry about that. That's me. Go. Where are we at? It's looking good. Herringon and Kobold's well up there. Hobgoblin has some presence, but just a little bit behind. I'm liking this. This is good. I feel like we have a really good, fun bunch of characters here to support our friends on their journey ahead. Yeah. Wow. Wow. I feel... I'm not going to call anyone out, but I feel I know who was voting for the Herringon there. So deckhand 1 is a Herringon. That is a really good suggestion, Ink Drinker. That will save us a little bit of time as well. Not that I'm worried about time, but we can focus on other things. So deckhand 1 is a Herringon, and deckhand 2 is a Kobold. Let's do the Herringon first. What is the Herringon's gender? What gender would we like for the Herringon? We've got a bunny first. That's going to be very interesting for Parscritch Chosen, given their relationship with previous Herringon. He, him. I like he, him. Is anybody object to the he, him again? I feel like he, him is it. Amazing. So rather than saying choose a strength or weakness, does this Herringon have a particular strength or weakness, or are they just across the board about the same about everything? What do we think? Have I frozen or something? Hello? There we go. Maybe the deckhands are okay at everything. Multi-purpose Herringon sounds okay. So we're just going to say average for the deckhands. I feel that, I think that's safe. I feel like the named crew would probably bring more to it. Have specialties that they focus on, and whereas the deckhands would just kind of be just there, making up numbers more than anything. So our Herringon, does he have a personality of sorts that we can discuss? What is he like? What is his personality like? What drives him? What sort of character have we got? He is the worst. Oh no. No, we're giving them names, Wayne, so they can't be red shirts. If we give them names, they're safe. He can be your Henry. I mean, we do have a third slot and an existing Henry in the game if you want to get Henry on board. I did say reformed Henry was a possibility. He is the worst, is what we have going here. Does anybody want to counter that? Or is this Herringon just thinks he knows more than everybody else and doesn't, or doesn't shut up, or just doesn't know about personal space? At some point, I am going to have to make sure. Oh dear. He is the worst. A little shifty. Thinks he knows everything. And argumentative. Okay, we really do need a likable Herringon at some point. I mean, we've got Bruni. Bruni's lovely. At some point, we will hopefully get some Bruni action in the game. Does this Herringon have a quirk? Is the party animal of the crew. Is great for morale. Despite all of this, he knows what to say when to say it. All the acting up is because he's insecure. Is he obviously insecure? Is it one of those things where everybody just kind of forgives it because they're like, right, we actually know you're a decent person? Or is it one of those things that once you get to know him, you're like, okay, no, I see what's going on there. Thumps his foot. Subconsciously when he thinks. Yep, I like that. Amazing. Obviously insecure. Thumps his foot subconsciously. I like this. It kind of actually means that this sounds like a... It all makes sense. Excellent. Yeah, it kind of feels like once he's been around, it's going to be one of those people, those characters that grows. Twists and... Yeah, that sounds good too. I like that, Ink Drinker. That's beautiful. So thumps his foot when he's thinking and twists and strokes his ears. We aren't going to make a 2D character for you. Hey, I don't like 2D characters. This is fine. I try and on one level or another, whenever I'm creating an NPC, I do try and think for myself, okay, what's the story you guys aren't seeing? If we kind of do engage with this character again, is there a reason they behave the way they are? For comfort. Excellent. Do we have a name for this? And actually, I'm going to ask Rooney. And there's a very specific reason I'm asking Rooney, which will come obvious at some point in the future. Rooney, do you have a name for this particular Herringon? Pressure's on. If not, do not worry about it. It's fine. We can pick something out. Rooney will need a second. Whilst Rooney is doing that, shall we start on our kobold? What is the gender of our kobold? And one of the interesting quirks about kobolds is kobolds don't think about gender in the same way that other races do, because they do not always stick to the same gender through their whole life. They may change based on what they feel their community needs. Dutch for our Herringon. Excellent, thank you very much. Agender, I like that. Is everyone happy with agender for... Yeah. So... Yeah, they, them. They do not mind. But they prefer they, them. Okay. We're going with their average on strength and weaknesses on the ship. What is this kobold's personality? And don't feel that you have to assign them similar personalities to the other kobolds you've met so far. Kobolds, like all people, are a broad variety of characters and personalities. Though it's always fun to do silly voices and characteristics. Mischievous. But in a mischievous, in a fun way. Not harmful. Shy. I like shy as well. You can be mischievous and shy. It could be their way of getting people to talk to them. I'm going to put that as a quirk, actually. Always trying to... Up. Excellent. Mischievous in a fun way, but shy. Maybe most of their communicating comes through the tricks that they play or the way that they try to make other people laugh and smile, which is one of the things. Do we have any notable features with this kobold? They can be physical or social. It doesn't matter which. What do we think? Anything at all? Or they don't have to have anything at all. Has gold fang. Oh, I love that. Replace one that hasn't grown back yet. They have a gold fang at the front. I love that. I think that's beautiful. Hearing impaired. Oh. Are we saying that they have... So are we going to say that they are fully deaf or just that they have limited hearing ability? It does help if I could spell as well. Used to work too close to cannons for a long time. Yeah, they work with the cannons. Bad hearing in their left ear. Yeah, can't talk to them from their left side. I like that. Yeah. And Wayne, or I think, yeah, Wayne is actually implying what was Wayne and I knew somebody in London who had hearing impairment and could actually use sign language and lip reading, but chose not to, depending on who they wanted to talk to or not at the time, which was funny. Used for great humorous effect by them, which was really cool. Excellent. So we have our mischievous kobold. What would we like the kobold's name to be? Any ideas or suggestions? Sage. Oh. Sage. Fable Ramos. Knives. These are all great. Fable is good. We've got 2 for Fable. Anything else? Or are we going to go with Fable? Sable. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. I second Knives or Phage. We got 2 for Fable and we got 2 for Knives. Tell you what. We have a political system in play for this. And Fable. I do really like Sage. I might pinch that for a kobold in the future. Here we go. Knives or Fable? What would you guys like? Oh, Fable is zooming away. Someone's very keen for that one. Here you go. You guys thought you were never going to be able to spend those points on anything, did you? I figured it out. We'll figure some more stuff out later, but for now. Just go. How are we looking? It's actually really close. It's slinking away now. But yes, it is. It's looking good. Here we go. 145 to 141. Fable wins. That is so close, though. Wow, you guys are very passionate about that. So, Fable is our kobold. I love that for them. That's so good. I know, right? Okay, so we have our last crew member. Congratulations on 300 viewers. God, yeah, imagine. 300 viewers are that engaged as well, Nikki. Could you imagine? That'd be crazy. We'd need... Yeah. It doesn't matter. I love that you guys are enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this, and that's what's, yeah, exactly worth spending 5k. Yeah, absolutely. Not true at all, guys. I really couldn't do this on a regular basis without all of you. This has been a lot of fun, but this is great. I really am looking forward to getting back in and introducing you to all these amazing NPCs that I now need to go and figure out voices for. Oh, Hedge, don't give yourself RSI on our account, please. You need to see the medic. The medic is open to being seen. I am certain he would love to give you some assistance. So, our last member of the crew, the last deckhand. We've already agreed that he is average on strength and they are average on strength and weaknesses. Would you guys like to present? Other than Owlin, is there any other lineages that you would like on this crew? Henry the human, super anxious hobgoblin. I will spend more points for Henry. Dear. If Henry does not get on this crew, I'm certain that Henry the human will show up. So I might sneeze in a second. So if you Aarakocra for the last one. Well, I'm going to put Owl in if that's okay for the last one, Rooney, because somebody's been trying to get an Owl in there. Is that okay? Loxodon. I don't think we can have another rare though, Wayne. I do like the idea of a Loxodon. At some point we will have to have them in there because I'd like them anyway. I'm going to put Henry the human. Which dear. This is so silly. So Lox. Oh goodness, why not? And Hobgoblins, because we've had a shout out. Someone's been trying to get a Hob on here since the beginning, and I feel that it's only fair to try and get that done. An Owlin who's scared of flight. Oh dear. Here we go, guys. Last poll for people. Owlin. Oh wow. Henry's starting to get some. Just to make sure we understand, our Henry is somewhat distinct from Wicked Games Henry, who is actually the worst. Our Henry is just in with the wrong people and possibly the worst. Wow, that Owlin is really getting some traction. Wow. We don't steal. No, we have our own Henry. Yeah, and Henry is a dwarf as opposed to Henry the human. And that's how we'll know them are different. Wow. Okay. This is looking like a clear winner. Legally distinct Henry. Exactly. With 96 votes and 95% of the votes, Owlin is the clear winner for our last deck hand. Everybody's run out of points. It's okay. You can start getting them back. I am loving this. So, Owlin. What is the Owlin's gender? Still scared of heights, you're going to say. Villain origin. She, her. We've got a she, her for the Owlin. Amazing. I'm very much for that. And again, this is kind of an important one with Owlin, who can be variable size. Are they a medium or small creature? Are they? Which size are they? Are they a tiny owl or are they a taller, more human-sized Owlin? Yep. Small, medium. Oh, dear. Small or medium? Small, okay. Small, yeah. We got 3 smalls. I think we're going to go with small. I'm going to put small in there so we know. I do like a small boy or small girl in this particular instance. Pick me owl. Yep. So, do we have any ideas for the personality of this Owlin? Medium who thinks they're small knocks things over all the time. I mean, if people want to change their minds about the small, I am quite happy for that one. Small who thinks they're large. There are depths here. These are 2 very different characters. They're a real hoot. Dear. If this doesn't come off, make sure you save that, because your first Owlin character, that sounds like a personality quirk you can lean into a bit. So, I'll yield to Theo on this one. Nervous disposition. Nervous disposition. Doesn't like loud bangs? Probably not a good thing to be on a ship. Tries to keep fellow deckhands. And a bit of a teacher's pet. Or a captain's pet, I guess. Excellent, I like that. That all sounds really good as personality. And then quirk, I think clumsy sounds really, really good as... Really, really good. So despite the fact that she's always telling the others off, she's probably the one causing the problems in the first place. Which Dutch and Fable probably don't like very much, I would say. Is there any sort of other quirks or features that we would like to kind of add into this Owlin? I think somebody was saying she's scared of heights. Knocks over a barrel. Oh, I like the idea that she calls herself a ridiculous laugh. Oh, I love that. And there's some play you can do that. Her laugh descends into hooting, quite literally. I think Hedge has got a really good grip on this character. So she's clumsy, ridiculous laugh. Fear of heights. Do we like fear of heights? I think what I might do is I might refine that a little bit. So it's more of the line so being an Owlin, she's been flying since she was quite young. She's frightened of flying over the open sky. Which kind of makes sense and is still quite funny in as much as, but you're a deckhand on an airship. How does that sound? I think that sounds, for me that sounds good, but how do you guys all feel? Fear of the open sky. Refuses to clean the sky barnacles off the side of the ship. Yeah. Fear of falling. Yeah. And that's where it comes from. Most people are not afraid of heights. They're afraid of falling. Makes Dutch. Yeah. That sounds right. Sounds perfect. And our wonderful Owlin, our final character here for today. What is her name? What name do we want for this Owlin? Gwen or Sage? Well, I like both of those, so I'm neutral on those. Trelawney. I like Trelawney as well. Ruby. Ooh. Larissa. Wow, these are so good. Groblet. Alba. So many good names. Goodness, next time I need to name a character, I'm just going to come to you lot. This is so good. Groblet. Okay, what have we got? What have we got? Gwen? I'm actually going to go with Sage rather than Gwen because there is another prominent Gwen out in the Norfolk TTRPG space. Whereas I don't think any of us got. There's so many good names here. Groblet. I'm not letting Groblet go. That's too good. Larissa. Alba. I love Alba too. Sharon. I might not have Sharon, but I do like Ruby. Amazing. Unfortunately, I only have so much space because there's so many good names coming up here. Do say some for your own characters as well, lovely people. Here we go. What is the name of our Owlin? I like Alba too, though. Actually, that's really good. Shasta the Owlin. No. Oh, I feel like we've got a fairly even split here. Couple for Groblet. Larissa Gwen is getting ahead. Sage is doing quite well. This is going to be one of those ones where it's an even split at the end of it all. I'd like Alba though, Rooney. I think that's quite clever. I think that's a really nice one. Hey, if that is his choice. This is actually probably the closest we've had, and Sage wins. And I like Sage. I feel like Sage is a great name, just in general. To be fair, Sage the Owlin. Okay, so let's recap. The crew of the Dragon's Hope. First mate is Akiza the Tabaxi, a specialist in combat but not so good with people. She is her, and she is efficient and aloof but easily distracted by bright lights. Her hair has a tendency to floop up when she's annoyed or surprised, and one of her paws is notably a different colour. The boatswain is Astra Zoe Persimmone, or Percy if you like for short. She, they, or any are pronouns. They are a fairy. Their strength is with people. Their weakness is with the general movement of the ship. They tend to be quite highly strung. They smile through their stress. They have set their expectations way too high, both for herself and for their crew. We didn't do notable features actually for Astra. That's on me. I got excited and then moved on too quickly. Do we have any notable features for our fairy apart from the fact that they have, they are a fairy, which is fairly strange outside of the enclaves? Massive clipboard. Bigger than they are. Oh, lily petal skirts. I love that. And rainbow coloured wings. Maze. And vibrantly green hair. Has a frog companion. I love all this. Hey, if anything happens to any of you, this is a new player. This is a new player character. Amazing. Yeah, she's not in an enclave anymore, but she is damned if she is going to let the feeling of their general approach change at all. No, I think the frog is probably a little tiny tree frog. That wrapped around her, wraps around like her staff or pencil or something. Cool. Next we have the engineer. Your backup character is Groblet the Owlin. Love it. Engineer is Sid, an air ganassi. Who is strong with upkeep and combat. They use they-them pronouns. They're very passionate about their job and treat the ship like their child. But they have a tendency to over-explain technical elements to anyone they think is interested. They always wear a magnifying monocle, favour their left leg from an old injury, and they have a cloud tattoo on their arm. Next is the navigator, who is Davos Danger Dan, a human who's probably overcompensating because they are the only human on the ship. Their strength is movement, their upkeep is their weakness. They're very bright and bubbly, but they have a tendency to get lost on islands or cities, anything not involving actual navigation. They're best friends with Sid, but tend to argue with them all the time. Excellent. Next is the medic, who's Keanu of the Lost Leaves. I couldn't resist, I had to do it. Tortle, whose strength is people, but his weakness is knowing how the ship gets around. Personality, calm, protective of his crew, careful and a bit of a perfectionist. Seems like an introvert at first, but once you break that shell, pardon the pun, he's very warm. Has a tendency to wear earmuffs or headphones of some sort when focusing on surgery, and collects something from each port, which will say will be put on the shelf in the medical bay as soon as he takes ownership. Another feature has deliberately changed the everlights in the surgery so they are slightly different colour. Notable features is autistic and responds poorly to overstimulus. Uses he, him as a gender. Cook, Paprika Alexis, or you can call them Pumpkin. Paprika is a bugbear, strong with people, knows nothing about keeping the ship running. Focused and clear-minded, they interject strange idioms into their conversations with people. Notable features, they wear an eye patch and braids their beautiful fur and beard. They use any gender at all. Okay, I'm happy to add that in, Hedge. I think that's a really nice. Collect something from each port they visit, but ask other people to get it because they don't like leaving the ship. They don't like leaving the ship unless they have to. Excellent. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's really nice. That's a very good point, Ink Drinker, that the items become that much more special because they were given to him by others. Next is the first deckhand, who is Dutch, the Herringon. And pretty, average about most of the skills around the ship. Personality, literally the worst. Very shifty, thinks he knows everything, and argumentative. However, is always good for morale, knows when to tell a joke, and knows what to say and when to say it to get people moving. Once you get to know him, he's obviously insecure, and has a tendency to thump his foot when he's subconsciously when he's thinking, or twist and stroke his ears for comfort when he thinks no one is looking. He is a he/him. Deckhand number 2 is Fable, the Kobold. A mischievous in a fun way, but very shy. Probably uses that humour as a way to break ice with others. They're always trying to cheer up the crew. Notable features, they have a gold fang for one that is waiting to grow back in, and their hearing is impaired on the left side from standing too close to a cannon. They use they/them pronouns. Our last deckhand is Sage, the Owlin. She uses she, her. Again, like most of her fellow deckhands, is okay at most things. She has a nervous disposition and tries to keep the fellow deckhands in line, but is a bit of a captain's pet when she does it. Ironically, she is the clumsiest of the deckhands and has a tendency to blame others for her mistakes. Notable features, she has a ridiculous laugh and a fear of the open sky. And finally is the captain's attendant, Felix the Dancer, a trans-masculine he/him tiefling who is very good at combat but knows nothing about how to keep the ship in the sky. Generally happy and cheerful, knows themselves very well and a little bit sassy. Very, very good at his job, but a bit of a disaster in his relationships. Has beefy arms and a few combat scars. There we have it. That is our crew. And I can't wait for you all. I said Groblet. Well, Groblet's the bonus person they keep on shore for when somebody's sick. I can't wait for you to meet the captain either. It's going to be fun. Lovely people, this has been a lot of fun. I have laughed a lot. I love this wonderful group of people that we have created.
I feel they're going to complement Parshkit's Chosen in all the best ways. Yeah, that is really cool. We have done it. It is done. And I think we had fun doing it as well. Thank you everybody for being here and for helping me out with this. This is going to be absolutely brilliant. We are not here next week because MCM is happening, but we will be back the following weekend, which is the 6th of November. And it will be 3 p.m. GMT because BST is over. It's done. It's done. We're done. BST is done. This was hilarious fun. I am really looking forward to presenting this crew to the cast in the next couple of episodes. Oh, is it your birthday? I will make a note of that. And try and remember. But if I don't, please remind us in chat. There you go. I've just reminded you about clocks, but not till next weekend. Lovely people. Thank you so much. Make sure that you pop past Wicked Game on Wednesday as they carry on with their amazing adventure. Do drop past as well Dice and the Slice, who are continuing to do not only amazing storytelling but their own baked goods. And please do drop in and send some love to Jay Tool School and our wonderful friend Ursa Dice. Their projects are coming to fruition, and I think just let them know how much of it we love and appreciate them. Thank you, Wayne, for putting those all in there. Sorry, just dumping this all on you right now, but I really appreciate you doing that. I have been Some Other Hero. My friends and I will be back in 2 weeks' time. In the meantime, take good care of yourselves. I love you all to pieces. This has been so much fun. Oh yeah, and you can find my stuff there in chat somewhere down there. I don't know. I've been Chris Mepham. You can find my stuff chrismepham.com/links, where you can also find everything you need about Some Other Heroes for the time being. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you all for coming and sharing and engaging and chatting with me through this wonderful process. This has been hilarious. I love these characters. We will see them and you very soon. Much love.